If there is one thing Chihuahua owners quickly discover, it's that life with a Chihuahua is never boring. These little dogs may be small enough to fit comfortably in your arms, but their personalities can be absolutely enormous. They can be dramatic, fearless, affectionate, stubborn, funny, and incredibly devoted, all within the same day. And while every Chihuahua has its own personality and preferences, there are certain things that seem to make these tiny dogs happier than almost anything else. Some of them are obvious if you've lived with a Chihuahua. Others might explain certain behaviors you've probably seen every single day without fully understanding why. So today, we're looking at 5 things Chihuahuas truly love the most. And number 1 is probably something your Chihuahua is doing right now.
Being your shadow. For many Chihuahuas, simply being in the same room as their favorite person is one of the greatest pleasures in life. You get up from the couch, they get up too. You walk into the kitchen, they suddenly need to inspect the kitchen. You go to another room, and a few seconds later, you hear tiny footsteps following behind you. Chihuahuas are famous for forming strong attachments to their people. In many cases, they seem to choose one particular person and develop an especially close relationship with them. That person becomes their favorite place to sit beside, sleep next to, and follow around the house. To some people, this can seem a little excessive, but for a Chihuahua, being close to their person often means feeling comfortable, secure, and included. They don't always need to be doing anything exciting. Sometimes just lying beside you while you're watching TV is enough. Other times, they want to curl up on your lap while you work, sleep next to you on the couch, or quietly watch everything you do. And let's be honest, some Chihuahuas don't believe privacy should exist at all. That close bond is one of the things many Chihuahua owners love most about the breed. When a Chihuahua trusts you deeply, they often want to share as much of their life with you as possible. However, it's still important for them to learn that being alone for a little while is perfectly okay. A Chihuahua that feels comfortable spending time independently can be more confident and less stressed when you need to leave the house. But when you're home, don't be surprised if your little dog decides that personal space is completely overrated. Because for many Chihuahuas, their favorite place isn't a particular bed, chair, or corner of the house. It's wherever you happen to be. Finding the warmest spot possible. If you've ever lost your Chihuahua somewhere inside your own house, there is a good chance you didn't look in the right place. Check under the blanket. Check inside the pile of pillows. Check the tiny patch of sunlight coming through the window, because Chihuahuas have an incredible talent for finding warmth. These little dogs often seem to have a built-in radar for the coziest place in the room. The moment sunlight hits the floor, many Chihuahuas will appear out of nowhere and position themselves directly in it. And blankets? For some Chihuahuas, a blanket isn't just something you put on the bed. It's a tunnel, a hiding place, a sleeping bag, and possibly the greatest invention in human history.
Their love for warmth makes sense. Because of their small bodies, they can lose heat more quickly than larger dogs, especially when the weather is cool. Many Chihuahuas simply feel more comfortable when they're warm and cozy. That's why you might see your Chihuahua curling into a tiny ball, burrowing beneath blankets, pressing against you, or searching for the softest bed available. A comfortable bed, a soft blanket, and a warm place to rest can make a huge difference in their daily happiness. Of course, loving warmth doesn't mean they should be exposed to extreme heat. During hot weather, they still need access to fresh water and a cool, comfortable environment. But on an ordinary day, give a Chihuahua the choice between a cold floor and a warm blanket, and you probably already know which one they're choosing. And if that blanket happens to be right next to you, well, now you've created the perfect Chihuahua paradise.
Feeling like the most important dog in the world. Chihuahuas may be tiny, but many of them have the confidence of a dog 10 times their size. They often know exactly when everyone is paying attention to them, and many absolutely love it. A Chihuahua might suddenly start doing something funny when visitors arrive. They might spin in circles when they know it's time for a walk. They may proudly show off a toy or perform a trick they've learned 100 times before. And when everyone laughs, smiles, or tells them how clever they are, that can be incredibly rewarding. Chihuahuas often respond very well to positive attention and encouragement. When training is enjoyable and rewarding, they can become surprisingly enthusiastic learners. A happy voice, gentle praise, a favorite treat, or a quick game can motivate them to repeat behaviors you want to see again. This is also one of the best ways to strengthen your relationship with your Chihuahua.
Instead of making training feel like a boring task, turn it into something your dog looks forward to. Teach them a new trick, practice a few commands, play a short game together, celebrate when they get it right. The important thing is to keep the experience positive and enjoyable. Chihuahuas are often very aware of the people around them. They can notice changes in your voice, your energy, and your reactions. That means harsh treatment can sometimes make them nervous or damage the trust you're trying to build. But when they feel safe, encouraged, and successful, their personality can really shine. And if your Chihuahua has ever looked at you after doing something impressive, as if they're waiting for applause, you already understand exactly what we mean. These little dogs may not always admit it, but many of them absolutely love hearing that they're a very good dog.
Tiny adventures with big things to discover. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that because Chihuahuas are small, they don't need much excitement. Yes, they may love relaxing on your lap. Yes, they may happily spend an afternoon under a blanket. But many Chihuahuas also have a curious side that deserves to be explored. A walk around the neighborhood might seem ordinary to us, but for a dog, it's an entirely different world. There are new smells, new sounds, new animals that have passed through, new places to investigate, and your Chihuahua wants to know about all of it. That's why allowing your dog to safely explore during walks can be mentally stimulating. Sometimes stopping to sniff a tree or investigate a new smell is part of the adventure. They don't necessarily need to walk for hours every day, like some high-energy breeds, but regular activity is still important. Short walks, supervised outdoor time, gentle play, and visits to calm, dog-friendly places can all give your Chihuahua something interesting to experience. Even a small change in routine can make the day more exciting. Maybe you take a different walking route. Maybe you visit a quiet park. Maybe you let them safely explore a new environment. For a curious Chihuahua, those little experiences can be a big deal. Of course, because of their small size, safety should always come first. Large dogs, busy roads, extreme temperatures, and rough play can create risks that are especially serious for a tiny dog. But with the right supervision, Chihuahuas can enjoy exploring just as much as much larger breeds. They may have tiny legs, but that doesn't mean they don't have a big desire to see what's around the next corner.
Games that keep their clever little brain busy. A Chihuahua can sleep for hours. They can spend an entire afternoon relaxing, and then suddenly they have energy and want something to do. This is where games and mental challenges can become incredibly valuable. Chihuahuas are often smarter and more curious than people expect. They enjoy figuring things out, learning routines, and discovering how to get rewards. You don't always need complicated equipment to keep them entertained. A simple game of hide and seek can be exciting. Hide somewhere nearby and call your Chihuahua's name. When they find you, reward them with praise, affection, or a small treat. You can also hide treats in safe places and let your Chihuahua use their nose to search for them. Puzzle toys can give them another way to stay mentally active. And sometimes their favorite game might be something completely simple. Chasing a small toy, playing gentle tug, bringing you their favorite plush toy over and over again, or running around the house for absolutely no reason. If you own a Chihuahua, you may have seen those sudden bursts of energy where your calm little dog transforms into a tiny rocket and races from one side of the room to the other. Those moments can be hilarious, but regular play can also help prevent boredom. Another simple trick is rotating toys instead of leaving everything available at once. When a toy disappears for a while and then comes back later, your Chihuahua may suddenly act as if you've bought them something brand new. Mental activity is important because a bored dog will often find their own entertainment, and unfortunately, you might not always approve of what they choose. So giving your Chihuahua opportunities to play, think, search, and learn can help keep them happier, more engaged, and mentally satisfied, because behind that tiny face is often a surprisingly active little brain.
So, what does your Chihuahua love most? From following their favorite person everywhere to disappearing beneath blankets, enjoying praise, exploring new places, and playing games? Chihuahuas may be small dogs, but they have a lot of things that bring them joy. The best part is that you don't need anything extravagant to make most Chihuahuas happy. Sometimes
sometimes all they really want is a little adventure, something fun to do, a warm place to sleep, and the chance to be close to the person they trust most. Of course, every Chihuahua is different. Some may be obsessed with toys, while others would choose a lap over anything else. Some love exploring outside, while others would happily spend the entire day buried under a blanket. That's part of what makes this breed so entertaining. You never quite know what your Chihuahua is going to become obsessed with. Now, we want to hear from you. What does your Chihuahua love more than anything else? Is it sleeping under blankets, following you around the house, going for walks, playing with a favorite toy? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear about your little Chihuahua and the one thing they simply can't get enough of. If you enjoyed discovering this incredible piece of Chihuahua history, you'll love the exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content available for our channel members. And if you want even more fascinating Chihuahua facts, training tips, and stories that don't make it into our videos, don't forget to subscribe to our free newsletter. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.